Hello everyone, this is Meghanath Reddy Dodlapati, and today I would like to give a brief presentation on my article, Adversarial Detection Avoidance Attacks, Evaluating the Robustness of Perpetual Hashing-Based Client-Side Scanning.
Coming to the basic terminology of the presentation, adversarial attacks. In this context of machine learning and cybersecurity, adversarial attacks refers to techniques where malicious actors
Data inputs to deceive machine learning models or security systems. These attacks aim to exploit vulnerabilities in models or systems to make incorrect predictions or evade detection. Perpetual hashing. Perpetual hashing is a technique used to represent data, such as image or audio, in a compact and unique way. It aims to capture the essence of data in a fixed size hash value, making it useful for various tasks like image similarity comparisons, image retrieval, and content identification. Client-side scanning. Client-side scanning uh, frequently refers to security measures that are applied on client user side, often in web applications. For example, in a context of web security, it could involve scanning files or data on client's device to detect malware or malicious content before uploading to a server. Evaluating robustness. Evaluating the robustness of a system involves assessing its ability to resist attacks and maintain its functionality and performance under various challenging conditions, including adversarial attacks. Coming to the abstract part of this paper talks about end-to-end encryption, a system that lets people chat privately and safely. However, there are worries that people might use this privacy to share illegal things through E2EE messaging apps. To solve this problem, the paper suggests using a kind of scanning called perpetual hashing-based client-side scanning. This can help spot illegal content in this private chat. The researchers have created the first method to check how well the scanning can stop people from avoiding being detected. They come up with three kinds of attacks. The test, one of is black box attacks and two of them are white box attacks, all designed for something called discrete cosine transform based algorithm. But after testing this on a large scale, they find that the current scanning methods can be tricked easily, which might cause more worries about the privacy. And the abstract highlights the privacy concerns surrounding the use of perpetual hashing-based client-side scanning mechanisms to detect illegal content in end-to-end encrypted communications. These systems are shown to be highly vulnerable to detect, avoid attacks, raising significant privacy issues. To address these problems, a potential solution could be involve adopting more balanced approach that takes into account both privacy and security concerns. Here are some possible steps that could be taken, such as improved detection algorithm. Instead of relying solely on perpetual hashing-based algorithms, research and develop more robust and efficient detection algorithm that can use accurately identify illegal content without compromising users' privacy. And second one is end-to-end encryption with limited data access. Messaging platforms can explore using end-to-end encryption in a way that still allows limited data access for detecting illegal content. This means that only metadata or encrypted data summarizers are used for scanning rather than accessing the entire content of message. Third one, user control scanning options. Give users the ability to choose whether they want their message to be scanned for illegal content or not. It's like giving option to them. This can be implemented as an opt-in feature for those who are willing to sacrifice some privacy for enhanced security. Coming to the fourth one, client-side scanning with user content method. If client-side scanning is necessary, ensure that it only occurs with explicit user content and make the scanning process transparent to users, explaining what is being scanned and why. And fifth method is like improve attack resistance. Invest in research and development to create more robust perpetual hashing algorithms that are resistant to detection, avoidance, attacks. This may involve using machine learning techniques to continuously improve the system's ability to detect the manipulated content. Next, sixth one is collaboration with external auditors. Have the scanning mechanisms and algorithms independently audited by external security and privacy experts to ensure their effectiveness and compliance with privacy regulations. Next method is transparency reports. Publish regular transparency reports outlining the number of flagged messages, the types of content detected, and the number of false positives to provide users with insight into the system's performance and the level of privacy that can expect. Next method is multi-factor verification, implementing multi-factor verification process to further verify the legitimacy of flagged content before taking any action. This can help you reduce false positives and unnecessary intrusions into the privacy. Multi-factor verification we can see in most of the apps today, like Facebook. Coming to the last method, government and industry collaboration. Foster collaboration between tech companies, governments, and researchers to develop standardized protocols and guidelines for the content scanning that strike a balance between privacy and security concerns. There are like some more attack methods, user education and awareness, educating users about the importance of content scanning in detecting and preventing the spread of illegal content, while also informing them about the measures taken to protect their privacy during the process. The main background of this is end-to-end encryption in messaging platform enables secure and private communication between users. However, concerns have been raised that this widespread adoption of E2EE might facilitate the undetected sharing of illegal content. The main objective of this article is the article proposes the first framework to evaluate the robustness of the perpetual hashing-based client-side scanning mechanism to detect avoidance attacks. These attacks are designed to evade the scanning and detection illegal content. Coming to the vulnerability findings, in a large-scale evaluation, the study finds that perpetual hashing-based client-side scanning is highly vulnerable to detect avoidance attacks in a black box setting. Over 99.9% of images were successfully attacked, while the content of the images remain preserved. Mitigation challenges of this paper. The proposed attack generates diverse perturbations, making straightforward mitigation strategies ineffective. And the privacy content, like the study suggests that setting larger thresholds to make the attack harder would likely result in significant number of innocent images being flagged and decrypted daily, raising strong privacy concerns. Coming to interaction part, this paper talks about end-to-end encryption, a kind of safety system used by messaging apps that lets people send messages privately. Highlight the concerns regarding undetected illegal content sharing. And to tackle this, the paper suggests using a special type of scanning user side based on something called perpetual hashing. Mentions the need to evaluate the robustness of this system against detection avoidance attacks. Also explain the contribution of papers, including the proposed structure and the presented attacks. So this is the image. Coming to the attack model of this article, the paper talks about detection, avoidance attacks. These are sneaky tricks people might use to avoid being caught by system while sharing things they shouldn't. It's really important to know how good our systems are at catching these tricks. That's how we can tell if they're robust or strong. The paper suggests testing the systems with different kinds of attacks, like the black box and white box attacks. In a black box attack, the sneaky person don't know how the system works. They just try finding different things until they find a way to trick it. In the white box system, the they know exactly how the system works and use the knowledge to find the ways around it. This is especially important because in real life, attackers can get their hands on blueprints of a perpetual hashing algorithm. Especially, they get blueprints of a perpetual hashing algorithm, the special scanning systems we use to find illegal content and use them to help avoid detection. Coming to the picture, uh, the figure 2, this image shows the perturbation with small L2 is enough to successfully attack most image. We obtained similar results for the most commonly used LPIPS distance. We further study the robustness of detection system against our black box attack for a wide variety of thresholds and find out our modified images almost always avoid detection. For instance, we observe that for database that of size 100K, 100% and 98.1% of adversarial modified image evaded detection by PTQ algorithm for recommended thresholds. Uh, we study several mitigation strategies against our attack and show them to be ineffective. First, we observe the larger threshold slightly reduced and the number of modified images that evade detection. But as we show in figure 3, the false positive rates become very large. We further estimate that for a small prevalence rate of illegal content, the number of images wrongly flagged daily could vary from a few million to be more than 1 billion image or as the threshold increases. The next image, secondly, we modify our attack to generate different perturbations, resulting in diverse output hashes in each run of the attack. The next image shows the measures such as expanding the database with hashes of adversely modified illegal images would prove to be ineffective. Indeed, the attackers could still generate a perturbation that might evade detection. We analyzed the optimality of a black box attack in terms of finding minimum perturbation. We compare results with the white box attack against the DTC algorithm. We show that more than 95% of perturbations from our black box attacks are within twice the optimal limit. That is describes perpetual hashing algorithms and how client-side scanning uses them. It also describes how the effectiveness of client-side scanning system is impacted by false positive and false negative rates. Coming to the attack methodologies, the paper talks about how we measure how similar two images are and how far apart they are in terms of looks. It also describes a kind of attacks called the black box attacks, which has 3 steps. Guessing the changes in the system, gradient estimation. Second, updating the tricks used, perturbation updates, and setting the maximum trickiness levels, perturbation bounds. The paper discusses how to make these attacks more effective and able to trick the systems completely. It also talks about the different types of tricks or perturbations the attacks can use and what that means. Lastly, the paper goes over white box attacks for a special type of scanning systems based on DCT transforms, explaining how these attacks work and how they use DTC transform to their advantage. This is the adversarial attacks and defense, explaining how it works. This is the perturbation, like the illegal guy. Coming to the adversarial experimental setup. Specify the perspectual hashing algorithm used in evaluation. Outline the parameters and settings for conducting the attacks both in black box and white box. This image explains how the data attackers find out using the white box. The final results of this paper is the paper shares how well the attacks managed to trick the scanning systems in the test, showing how often they were successful. It also highlights how the attacks used many different tricks and how this might affect plans to stop them. The paper explains how much we need to toughen up the attacks to test the systems better and discuss what this would mean for people privacy. It suggests ways that could make the scanning system stronger against these attacks. Finally, the paper examines what these attack results mean for the usefulness of the system that government organizations and researchers are currently suggesting. The final discussion is possible countermeasure that could enhance the robustness of the perpetual hashing-based client-side scanning and analyze the implications of the attack results on viability of current system proposed by governments, organizations, and researchers. These are the related works. Coming to the conclusion of this paper, in this paper, the authors have introduced a framework to evaluate the robustness of perpetual hashing-based client-side scanning against adversarial attacks. Perpetual hashing is a technique used to identify and compare images based on the visual content. And client-side scanning refers to use of these techniques on users' device to check for potential harmful or inappropriate content before uploading or sharing it to a server. The authors have also proposed both black box and white box attacks to access the vulnerability of this perpetual hashing-based system to adversely manipulation. In a black box attack, the attacker has limited knowledge about the inner workings of the system and its algorithm. Despite this limitation, the authors have shown that they can successfully modify over 99.9% of images while perceiving the visual content. This finding suggests that the system is highly susceptible to adversarial manipulation, which is a significant concern of its practical use in ensuring image integrity and safety. Furthermore, the authors have demonstrated that the attack is capable of generating diverse perturbations in images, making it difficult to implement straightforward mitigation strategies, such as expanding the database with modified images. This implies that conventional methods used to enhance the system's resistance to attacks might not be effective, posing a challenge for developers to find suitable countermeasures. In addition to the black box attack, the authors have also proposed two white box attacks. In a white box attack, the attacker has complete knowledge about the system's internals, algorithms, and parameters, enabling them to optimize the attack for maximum effectiveness. The theoretical basis for these white box attacks suggests that even with full knowledge of the system, defending against adversarial manipulation is still a challenging task. The overall conclusion drawn from the result of these attacks is that the current perceptual hashing-based client-side scanning approach is not robust enough to withstand adversarial black box attacks. To increase the detection threshold and make system more resilient. A significant number of images would need to be wrongly flagged daily, which raises serious privacy concerns. Incorrectly flagged being images due to attacks, in fact, could lead to severe privacy violations and user mistrust. In conclusion, the paper highlights the vulnerability of the current perpetual hashing-based client-side scanning methods to adversarial attacks and emphasizes the need for more robust, reliable techniques to ensure the safety of and integrity of the images in client-side server interactions. It calls for further research and development of defense mechanisms to counter the effects of adversarial manipulation and protect user privacy. That's all. Thank you for your time.